Always Toy Insanity. What's up? That's me, Toy Insanity. Coke Insanity 4 on National Coke Day, May 8th. Because allegedly, supposedly, May 8th, 1886, the first Coca-Cola was served in a little pharmacy in Atlanta. By 1894, they had it in bottles. By 1895, it was nationwide in bottles and on tap at pharmacies. By 1920s, they had it worldwide. Fast forward to today, we've got Move. Coke, get out the way. Get out. From Rosalia. Are you a fan of Rosalia? Very famous recording artist and poet. She wrote a famous song about biscuits. Currently age 30. She's from Spain. I'm not, and I won't be your biscuit. But I have everything that is a crime. Put me in the sun, I'm melting. Send me the evil eye, I'll take it off. I'm not, and I won't be your biscuit. Very cool. Shout out Rosalia. I assume she did these doodles herself. And she made this limited edition Coke that I've never tried before. Current year, Coca-Cola. Past some prior iterations, we went to space. We found that the space tastes like marshmallows and slight hint of raspberry. Then we went to the dream world, the dreamland of Freddy Krueger, and we found out that tastes exactly like Mentos in a Coke. But what has Rosalia cooked up for us this year? 2023 National Coke Day. Well, I smell cocoa nut. Undeniable already. Hit me with the cocoa nut. Got two more Funko Pops. The bottle cap to go with my can. And also with my Sprite bottle cap. Just 2 days ago on National Beverage Day, we tried all the lemon lime bangers. Coke, not Coke, Sprite, 7-Up, defunct Sierra Mist, and the new Starry. Move. I think in some countries it's called Movement. Because here's a picture of her holding a can that says Movement instead of Move. It's cocoa nut. Straight up cocoa nut. I don't detect a hint of pineapple or mango. What might you put with coconut? This is straight coconut Coke. I guess there's potentially a hint of vanilla, but the only thing that's gonna grab your taste buds is cocoa nut. Cocoa nut Coke. That's what it is. I promise you. And we got the so-called 90s Coca-Cola bear. Here's the classic Coca-Cola polar bear. All right, that came out a few years ago. But they're calling this one the 90s. But I gotta tell you, I looked into it. In the 90s, they did make, that was the heyday of the polar bears. They first appeared in France in a print advertisement in 1922. First time Coke used polar bears in advertising. They're feeding Coca-Cola to the sun. And then in the 90s, there were all these figurines and Christmas ornaments where they were doing shady stuff out there in the polar land. They were skiing and snowboarding and such. But typically they did not wear eye protection. The actual ad campaign where the polar bear is wearing these sunglasses is from 2012. But Coke insisted on calling it the 90s polar bear. This image is from 2012, I promise you. Because they were definitely hot stuff in the 1990s. your mom probably has a Christmas ornament or two. What is left to do? Okay, we open this. We open this. I don't keep boxes. We tried this. I give it a 7 out of 10. I'm not a big fan of coconut, but that's in food. That's it. Like a cookie with coconut in it, throw that garbage away. Any kind of straight Coke, the texture's terrible. But coconut Coke beverage, I'll finish these. That much I can tell you. But not great. Truth be told, I would prefer the space one and the dream one. All right. We should mention a couple more things. Does Pepsi have a national day? They do indeed. They just created it last year. Pepsi, late to the ball game every time. But it's going to be March 26th, and it just seems kind of random. It has nothing to do with their history. Yeah, they did hit the scene 1898. So a few years after Coke. Now, we always talk about Dr. Pepper Day because Dr. Pepper hit the scene 1 year before Coke. They like to remind you that they are older than Coca-Cola Classic. So that would be 1885. And Dr. Pepper Day is easy to remember if you know their old slogan, 10, 2, and 4. So October 24th is National Dr. Pepper Day. And then, we could go ahead and mention RC Cola. Hit the scene 1905. And then there is the famous RC Cola and Moon Pie Festival, I believe in Tennessee. We explored RC and Moon Pie combinations last year on that day. But I think that's the, I don't know, third Saturday in June? That sounds about right. And then, if you're curious, what was the first soft drink ever bottled? It's Schweppes. Ginger ale. It's your National Ginger Ale Day. Probably. I'll write it on the screen. Finally, I just wanted to mention Coke. You gotta love it. You gotta appreciate it because look, they try new flavors, and they partner with Funko. I've been saying for years, why isn't there a Coke can, a Dr. Pepper can? I said it wrong again. A Pepsi can, Pepsi bottle lid. Okay, I'm starting to think Coke must have said, hey, you can do a can and a bottle top, but you can't let Pepsi use that mold. Whereas like the cereal box and stuff, every freaking brand used the Funko cereal box. And then they try new flavors. They partner with Funko, and then they have that enormous museum. It's a fantastic place to visit in Atlanta called the World of Coke. Does Pepsi have a museum? They do indeed. It's this tiny little thing in New Bern, North Carolina. So I don't see many destination road trips to New Bern, North Carolina. Okay, I'm happy to have 4 Funkos deep and halfway decent flavor for National Coke Day, May 8th, 2023. Coke Insanity 4. I'll see you next time.